Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the EXORT series, where we're going to go into our final game of today, 1.5 hours late of original scheduling, but hey, that's what it's supposed to be when you're going to have so many overtimes in your game. Map veto between Northern Lights and BAKS is on your screen right now. We're starting off with Inferno. We would go to Dusty, and our final map would be Ancient if we get there, but let's see what it's going to be, because late games do also mean you're going to have to be prepared for that. And originally, both teams expected to have needed to play late, to have needed to play their ultimate best at the final hours. But who is going to be ready for it in the game itself? Who's going to be mentally ready for it? Seems as if that's going to have to be decided right here, right now. Some real good fight from BAKS, bringing in Fluffy as their newest addition. Definitely the youngster stack up against the youngster stack, with BAKS leading off with a very good first round. Some aggression that is betting the Northern Lights players off guard. 5 days for Fluffy to join, the 18-year-old that hasn't had too much experience. The only things we saw him do was playing in the Nuclear Tigers. 5 days for him to join with Mr. Trellock, their main player in terms of what he's done statistically speaking. Looking forward to see what BAKS can show, because they started off the season very promising with a win. So did Northern Lights. They looked good, but they played against, in my opinion, a weaker side. Some decent fighting here towards B. Triple stack from BAKS, says that's going to be around going their way, it looks like. But yeah, BAKS had to play up against Minlet, which is the team where Amanek is playing in. Definitely having some real good names inside. The BAKS won that one fairly convincingly. For Northern Lights, they got a victory against Abyss team, which really wasn't ready for kind of anything. The convincing win as it was for BAKS, 13-5, 13-11, really showed me their capability to play this game, to get ready, to have a promising lineup presented to us. This start definitely shows exactly that. Key signs to it. Greatest, which has been a part of many teams, as well as some organizations where he's played for. Some good tournament results that he's had. Not that much tournament winnings, maybe some added with the EXORT series. They play their cards right. A good start it's definitely been for BAKS. Winning that eco round out. Up against Northern Lights now. Playing with pistols, or not pistols, but some weaker weaponry and limited utility. Mines will be the one looking to go aggressive as he's lurking about. Snow ready with him. Well, Mines is just waiting things out. There's a good nade. And a good opener from Mines against Mr. Trellock. Trade could be there from the Greatest, who is not leaping in for a push. Now Will with the MP9 tries going aggressive, but Mines has different plans. What a shutdown that is from the Northern Lights. Because they're the ones taking T side for granted. A lovely round that is. They have just managed to find. It's BAKS looking to save. I'm still trying to figure out how these observings work. My apologies if things are all not as smooth as you would expect or see. I've been trying to do my best observing my way through the last map of the third game and this one. As Northern Lights do find a round to their name. Pretty nicely played from the Swedes. BAKS is Gonna have barely anything to go for. Except for the weapon save. Maybe an M4 that can be dropped by Sanity. If I say his name right. Senti. Sainty. It is not Sanity. Sainty. Dual Yand as well. Some nice names. And Fluffy with the Nuclear Tigers jersey. That's obviously the newest addition to this team. Very keen to see what they can do. It was a pretty good round, but it was off the back of that one solo play from Mines that really caught the eye. And really brought life and spirit into this side of play. Banana. Slowly getting pushed as Frank is going to go aggressive. Looks for this push. Sainty going to take the first with him. Entry gets found from him as he rushes down for more. That's a lovely double kill. That's what happens when you put up a triple B stack early in the round. You can go aggressive fairly easily. Still have a player behind you watching. Mines is going to try to be the hero once more, but from apartments and particularly speaking without much resources to help him, it could be very predictable. Something that the greatest was at least checking for. Aggression through mid. Looks like Northern Lights is going to be trying to shut this down. Molotov will miss from Dupes. He's put Mines on fire there from Boiler. Bomb is in the hands from Snow, who's trying to lurk from Apps, but gonna be a tough round. Good shot from Fluffy at least to open up. It's taken by Dupes, who's originally wanting to go for a bit more. Here goes Snow. Out from apartments, dropping in. Smoke gets used while up close. Still one more to fight. In the side, the greatest gets shut down by Dupes, who has a heroic play to have this round actually go the way of Northern Lights for the time being. What a turnaround. And another multi-kill that brings them to life. Player seen on the cross as Snow is behind the box. Gets taken by Duelyant, who's have to go for one more. Spotting him out. Speed has been seen. There should be the kill. There is the kill from BAKS. 3 rounds already for BAKS Esports. As it's Northern Lights to lose yet another. It is the fact that the Dupes and Mayans have found those 3 and 4 kills. Otherwise, there was even no way into the previous round. So, still feel like BAKS is by no means going to be the team feeling any distressed right now. For the time being, execute that will look to come. Mr. Trellock is in play. The 8 on the smoke. Running with a way out. That's a good shot from Duelyant. Forces them to run back. Fluffy wanted to leap in there with the op. No avail. Banana's been taken by Mr. Trellock, but be feared, be surprised. There's still potentially going to be a push. Oh, that's a lurk. I didn't even see it. Your greatest is already down into T-spawn. That's the bomb. That's the second. That's 2 and a third towards second mid. Greatest with so much more work to be done. But a double kill was already taken nicely. Brown flipped on his hand. The script has been turned. The script might turn again as the greatest is still having some trouble. Competing and finding a kill, no avail. Fluffy with the op is going to shut down the bomb once more. It drops in front. Which means Dupes has to recover it. Has to push. Go aggressive. Flash. Forces Fluffy back. The op is still going to go for another peek. Needs this kill. Wants this kill. Misses the shot. Oh, Dupes! He clutches it up for the Swedes. As it's Fluffy missing twice. 2 shots that the opper could have hit. But none of it connecting. Northern Lights getting away with murder once again. As they're even going to be able to go into the lead by the looks of things now. What a performance so far from none other than Dupes. So we are going into round 6 with Dupes performing real good. The side of Northern Lights, the force buy to be called from BAKS. They will try to answer back with a buy of their own. Pretty interesting to see their thought process on this one. Smoke used. Oh, not the kill Duolientes wanted to go for. Gets shut down by Frank, who finds a double kill, which are his first 2 kills of this game. Pretty nice to have taken Banana that way, as Northern Lights will be 2 men up in this one. BAKS potentially looking for a pistol buy up next if they lose this, so the double kill rush really help. The AWP getting booked end over, as we call that. With Boss looking to triple setup towards B, I think they're going to go for a round where if they lose this, it's just going to be a safe goal. Let's see, do we have some nice... Let's CT spawn. Yeah, there we have it. The site gets taken by Northern Lights, who will be able to get the bomb planted. Game should be tied very soon. And so, a game where, in the beginning, I kind of felt like it was going to be maybe a pretty one-sided one. I'm not really sure if I expected it to be, like, one-sided for one or the other. But with the first few rounds from BAKS, I really felt like they were the ones in the lead for majority of time. Could still be. Haven't been able to control ever since the pistol and the follow-up. And one scrappy round, and that's all she wrote. Gave his tie, Northern Lights. Playing up against an eco from BAKS, coming forward. So we'll see how much further things can be taken, as round 7 will start to commence. Five players stacked up towards long. That's what BAKS are doing. Looking to push with the bomb left behind in snow. Ooh, missed shot from the AWP. The rest is going to push up forward, so he's going to have to rush. Ooh, Snow is not in a good position, and with the AWP missing his second shot, there was a chance for some heroic moves from BAKS, some interesting moves. Sage has been hurt to drop. Now be the one getting pushed by the remaining players. Another multi-kill from Dupes. He puts Northern Lights into a better light once more. They're into their first leading position on this series. And so a tech pass is being called by BAKS. Maybe they will be able to fix their issues that they're potentially facing. I don't know if it's actually BAKS calling it. Could also be the Northern Lights, but I would say it's for the better if it was BAKS' call. Chicken Lover, as we'll continue with next round of play. Snow, the one rocking the AWP for Northern Lights here. They can continue. I mean, their form could start to increase. Form should start could start getting better. This is where I think it's kind of make it or break it for one another. I think BAKS form so far they have felt more in the game. Felt like the more composed team in the first few rounds, but still doesn't mean jack shit if Northern Lights just wins this one. Breaks their momentum, breaks their economy. And with the push, that can really help. The greatest will be shut down. It's going to be Mr. Trellock. Still allowed to hold on. Fluffy. There's some pressure with the AWP. Big green in his hand. Can't find more than the one he's already gotten. Bomb plant. Looking to happen. Snow. Planting for Pit. It will be mines going towards it, but it looks to things. No. Actually, a Lexan to have gone there. I don't know if there's players been leaving from BAKS. A knife even pulled into the fight. That mines will succeed on killing. BAKS don't seem to be able to control this. A fast A crunch is all it takes for Northern Lights to take control. And my initial thought about BAKS looking stronger has now been swooped out. Northern Lights also full of young, promising talent. Been looking real promising all over the board. Their first game against Abyss team. And they took the Ukrainian squad up real easily. And they're looking to do the same against a team from BAKS, which I would consider to be definitely a step beyond that exact skill level. I will say, it's been pretty nice to see this team perform, and the first few rounds have been slow. Just let the Northern Lights to believe, or in this instance BAKS to believe, that it was going to be slow rounds all over the board. I mean, they're Swedes after all. Particularly speaking, the Scandinavians always been on another level. Your pugs, or just generally speaking, with the whole Astralis era, we know what it is. Esports in general, particularly Counter-Strike, just been dominated by him. Ooh, good stuff. Good shot from Sains as he finds mines. Mines gets taken down. Will be the push towards the B side with some real good shots. Saints is taking him. Dupes gets shut down. It's Northern Lights finding the plant. The retake's still on, but I don't know if you want to go for this if you're BAKS Esports. You might want to just try and save and have the M4s and AKs to work with. Yeah, this is a pretty good spot from Sainty. But he's not going to be allowed to take down Snow. He runs and guns him down with the big green. Northern Lights do find yet another round. Aggression on B. Didn't really work out, and through apps was also troublesome. So you're playing with pistol armor. You kind of feel like BAKS has to play together there. Make sure there's at least opportunity to trade, but yeah, no chance for it. No cigar, no gaming. BAKS taking things a step further. Good fight, Fluffy. That's an opening. It's nicely executed. An advantage go in, Frank. Good work with the double kill. Northern Lights have found the opening fights as they're trying to go for more. Won't be needed. Won't be taken. Mr. Trellock. A double kill from him. BAKS gets all the value necessary. To be all down to mines and mines only. Have to try and clutch a triple kill combination for Mr. Trellock. Gets BAKS into a promising spot. Good advantageous spot here with a lurk from Dupe still in play. Round 11 looks real class so far, as Northern Lights will have all the positions necessary. Fluffy still in the act of potentially shutting this Northern Lights attack down. Oh, the timing is so wild, but Fluffy hits it still. Oh my, Fluffy. 7 health is all that's left, but he could go for more. The ARP is still in prime position, I was about to say. Not gonna have the resources left to win it. 7 HP was not enough. Good lurk. Dupes will walk right to the smoke. Oh. Saint T was not checking for it. But still. Allowed and ready. With a headshot of his own. It's all down to Mines, who's found 12 kills so far. Needs 14. That's one more added to the tally. Swing for more. Mains with the clutch. Another multi that was needed. Another clutch that was necessary. If you want to have these Northern Lights players at their best, you got to put them in clutches like that. Dupes and Mines to have found all rounds necessary for Northern Lights. There's been so many of those multi-kills that were needed by one another. Have been provided to win those out. Very nicely done for Northern Lights. Shot to open. Second kill from Frank as they've opened up towards B. My bad for missing those kills as they went by real fast. Snow. Oh my. Everything works for Northern Lights. Greatest. 1 versus 4. Tapping. Clearing house. Snow to find 8. For advantage for Northern Lights as they will switch sides to the CT side here. Full A stack with just 1 towards B. Frank is playing by himself with the utility that he got dropped. As a smoke that he got dropped by Snow. Molly is going to be in his hands as well. First he wants to smoke. Here's the steps. No push coming, so there's no push needed. With this kill on Snow, you're wondering where BAKS will go, because they're now starting to get boxed in real soon. String from mid still happening. Excellent is keeping them at bay. But there's another fight from Dupes. Snow has slipped through the cracks, has slipped through the defense. It's Election that will run away. Rotation gets called. Mine is in play to help. As Excelum won't. Tough spot for Northern Lights. Even though things looked real promising for them. We'll look to the side, we'll look to help. Good kill from Snow. That's keeping them occupied from all different sides. No, the final player is there at the graveyard, as it's Frank who have found the final two pieces. Always, when it matters the most, it's Frank to really step up as well. Those lurks have been great from Snow. And he doesn't have the op. He's always there to lurk, and Frank has really stepped up in those final key moments as well. So, really enjoy what I'm seeing. Finds two open. Only one left at B. Second player rotating in. Snow will come to help. Pushing through, aggressing through Epps is going to be Dupes and Mines that will be ready for it. Swing as the M4 collapses to the ground. It's only trades that BAKS are managing to take, which is not in their favor whatsoever. Fliffy with that smoke. Might keep the players from Northern Light occupied for the time being, but these steps will definitely be heard by Snow as Excellent trying to keep him at bay. Jumps around, which is probably where he's not going to expect Snow to be here at all. Oh boy! Cover through the smoke, but not enough. It's a blind spray that catches Excelum off guard, and then he runs right into Snow. What a read from Fluffy, and then a crappy fail to end off the round. Northern Lights go to double digits. As they're going to find themselves 2 rounds away from match point. Shot from Frank, double kill. He's going to hold on to Banana for dear life. Final one that's left from BAKS as they played this round with pistols. Looks like they're going to be shut down. Northern Lights with a advantageous spot the way we're seeing things. The Swedes have played some real good Counter-Strike at the moment. Luckily, my issues on my sides have been solved. I'm going to zoom back into the game a bit more for the time being. Some quick things to do. Here we are. 4 towards A. Frank is going to be taken. Snow, ready to swing. As short will be the point of target. Oh, that's Mines with a lovely double. Make it 3. Mines, once more, doesn't get that done. Watching the lurk will be excellent. Dupes is also there. Oh my. A 4A stack. They found the sole defender at B. They did not expect Northern Lights to still have 4 around the corner. Good stuff. From Northern Lights. Expecting, anticipating. And look to find the first map really convincingly. Has it been a bad map by BAKS? I don't think so. I think the start could have been a bit better, but particularly in the middle part, though. It's been Northern Lights getting away with some real good rounds, some real good multi-kills, combos that we saw from Northern Lights that brought them a lot of light. Mains has been performing insanely. We did not really have that step up from one of the BAKS players at times. Also greatest. Like I said, with most experience now, unfortunately, on 9 kills. Fluffy, though, has made a good impression on me for the time being. Look forward to seeing what he can bring to the table. Nice nades down the middle. Banana push. To be had. Ooh, Molly hits Dublin down fairly nicely. It's going to be auto sniper time for Frank. He does manage to find the entry. Wants to swing out for more. Yeah. That is the auto noob pulled out. And then you know it's disaster. Disaster strikes. That gun, quite hard to deal with. Reason why Tier 1 is usually not using it is because you've got to hit 2 shots with the sniper. While isolating yourself to everything. At the same time, it can also be very deadly if you don't immediately get a headshot as a T-sided player. Don't immediately respond. That's where troubles could be found. Frank goes aggressive. Excellent is still close by. Joining him. Sainty. Swinging from barrels. Headshot gets found as he tries to go for more. It's the end of map number 1. Northern Lights take it in a 13-4 fashion. Promising looks all over the board. Mines played insane. Dupes following close second with his ADR. And ultimately speaking, the Swedes that will feel really good about their own map pick. We're going to be sending it with a short break. And when we continue, we'll see DE does too as our second map of play. It's going to be BAKS having an opportunity to shut things down and make us go to Ancient. Otherwise, we're going to be ending it in 2 because Northern Lights definitely look like the stronger team on form. First map goes convincingly to the Northern Lights, who take it in a 13-4 fashion. We're still watching the EXORT series. We're still watching the game between Northern Lights and BAKS, and it's now going to be BAKS' map pick coming up. It could be an as convincing one to the side from BAKS, because I will say Dust 2 is looking really good for the Russians on paper. Northern Lights, I'm excited to see what they will put up against this squad of play. Ancient as a decider would be a lovely middle ground, I think, between Inferno and Dust 2. Ancient is a real good mix, so let's see what map is going to bring. If BAKS is going to have what it takes, or if Northern Lights can make some more presence to it. Let's move to full screen. That's what we're going towards. Northern Lights onto the CT side. BAKS making some presence towards B. That's where Sainty is making his presence known, and with there originally only being one, that's where rotations could be called. Mines, careful of this flank. Careful of this lurk with a headshot right there with him. The Berettas will have found a double kill. Will go down still. What a play this could be from Fluffy. Alive and kicking, but more to it. Sainty left standing by himself. A weird fight ensues. USB against Berettas just needs a kill and wanted some body shots. Finds the headshot instead. It's BAKS leading the charge with a first round of play. An awkward round, but Fluffy to definitely make it much more of a feasible one. He was playing behind the smoke towards CT spawn. Got out in time and found the kills necessary. Scouts as a response here from Northern Lights. Snow will try and have a look for the opening kill. Frank that will be flashing in from long as there's going to be pushes all over the board. Ready with the flash as there's the swing from the MP9. Mines get shut down, and yeah, that is how the CTs get shut down. I felt like there was much more to it. Like BAKS though, definitely found themselves the openings necessary. Some sprays to entry through. The scout from Frank that's doing more than expected. Looks as if the round will still look to go the way of the BAKS Esports side, but Lurk is still in. Snow now having to win just a 1v1. Rounds get close. Snow is still alive. Greatest might actually start overplaying this, overthinking this a bit. Doesn't really go for this fight. The bomb has now been picked up and will get planted. Snow will try to allow this to be a jump shot. Greatest not checking for it. The scout against the Galil. Turning his back. Greatest to be tagged, but not to fall. Second round from BAKS that goes down to the 1v1. Down to the final player alive. It is a victory for the side of BAKS, and it's the thing mostly needed. Northern Lights will be buying once more. Scout on mid with a push out from long. Raiders wanted to go for an entry, then spots out the bunch, which will once more be flashed in. MP9s that have been bought. Realizing this, with rotations coming elsewhere. Good shot from Snow. So with that, it is the opening they were looking for. Mines to go in position up close. And yeah, Northern Lights play some real promising Counter-Strike. It's up to the BAKS side how to respond to this. 3 players ready inside of the mid side. But BAKS that will be looking for push-up short right now. Good shot from Snow. Mines will accelerate as well, means that BAKS is going to have no other shot than to go up to the A side and go for a straight-up plant. But it does look like this is still so much of a doable round for Northern Lights. It is just a 1v5 now left. Mr. Trellock is not going to do a singular thing. And with that, it is going to be a flawless round going away of the Northern Lights. They went this round in with MP9s on all of them. Now they're getting away with 3 AKs, a Galil, the Scout that Snow still possesses. So I think they're going to be really happy about the outcome of this round. Northern Lights in winning ways once more. 1 away from tying up the game. As BAKS is going to play with Armor Pistol. Looks like Northern Lights have done enough. Still, they have to prove me though. Have to prove me otherwise. The way this too can really be BAKS-sided the way we saw. They played Dust 2 and Ancient against their first opponent. A promising victory against a team from MNEC and SBT, Polo, Exist, all really capable players, so I felt like that should have been a loss for the BAKS side, and with that being 1, of course, it shows how capable they are to play Dust 2 and Ancient. Dust 2 even being their pick. They had a really good CT side. The T side is where they struggled on. Finding 10 rounds on the CT side against 2 from Minute there. Good shot from Frank as he finds Mr. Trellock. The side of B will be under contention with great flashes. Mines is put into danger, but he's fighting himself out of there. Real nice. Triple kill from Mines to send Northern Lights back in. Stay alive with 5 onto the CT side. With that, the Swedes in good control. They've tied up the game here, playing up against Pistols next. Promising look to start off this game. And now they need to make sure they accelerate in order to really speak of a good game on their side. Aggression with the Tech 9. He's not going to see Saintian lower. We heard the gun switch. That's something that the players will not. It is client-sided. For some reason, the observer is still making all the gun switch sounds and the utility pools heard, while that is never heard by anybody. So weird why they cannot fix this issue. It really is just a problem. Nothing more. Nice shots there from Excellent. Making matters a whole lot worse for... I was gonna say the BAKS side, but then Frank makes it even worse for them. Eco gets shut down. That's something we expected to happen. This is where BAKS can start to find some momentum on their side with another buy to their name. Excellent. On HLTV as well. Not a rating that favors him all too much. It's also been, I would say, the weakest link when it comes to killing ability for the Northern Lights in this season, but definitely capable of putting up some good numbers. Probably also the oldest player on the side from Northern Lights, and maybe he's the one picking up the IGL role. And I'm saying old, he's 22. No, by no means an old player. When it comes to all the youngsters and then him, that definitely shows you a pattern. Going up long. Snow is 21. Mines is 16. Dupes is 22. And then Frank is 20. So yeah, there you have your results. Mines has been playing an insane game. 16 years old, but fragging think he's experienced as hell. Good double kill there from Snow, as there's a triple short setup. Mine's just checking mid briefly. So we'll be dropping to CT in order to have this rotation be called upon. Promising talent. What a shot from Mines as well. Now the round becomes way more possible. Fluffy will try to help, but he's down real low. 2 body shots will finish him off, and Mr. Trellock is just 1 headshot away. Mines, oh my. Another kill from the youngster. Another kill would be needed to win the round. Snow, this is his chance. Dupes goes on to fall with Mr. Trellock having a chance to clutch. He will be having it. His first 3 kills of the game. As BAKS find a 3rd round that is with just 1 person surviving. That is one hell of a way to win things out. The game will be tied at 3 apiece. Little boost, Fluffy gets shut down by Snow. Advantageous spot for Northern Lights as the op duel's won by Snow, who is going to try and go for more. Ooh, Mr. Trellock, he's been seen. Just jiggling forward. He's itching forward and every single pixel Mr. Trellock peeks. Snow is more secure and eventually just pulls the trigger. That is a double kill from Snow that could have been easily avoided, I feel like. The fact that BAKS wins rounds with 1 person surviving is not giving them any way of holding on to an economy, to building an economy. That will be a dangerous prospect going forward, particularly on their CT side, where things like that really can't happen. Mines is in position. Sainty will push up close. Mains looking for 1. The trade doesn't come from Frank. He been shut to Sky. It's great. It's just accelerating on A. He wants this plant. And he will get it. That's not only a plant, but also cash added to the tally. No, not anticipating on dual Yan being here. Selen could find this kill, and with that, it's him and Dupes ready to clutch. Greatest knows position of 1, so we'll try and take Excellen away, which puts him into a 1v1. Now looking for Dupes, has found him. The final player he knows his position of. With the M4A1S not doing the work on far range. Greatest is ready to clutch. 2 HP. All that's left, and he wins it out for BAKS. Another round 4 for BAKS, where they're only going to have 1 person surviving, but those rounds count like they're being won with more than 1 alive. They all count the same. Same with football. You might have 80% possession and 30 chances on goal. If your opponent scores a goal, it counts equally as much as you fought for. Mines has the op, but doesn't have the kill. Gets shut down. It's a lot of cash taken out of the hands of Northern Lights almost immediately. Push up short. Close. It's going to be Dupes, who is ready for it. The double trade will be favoring BAKS, as they had the advantage taken from that initial kill. Out of B. Going to be Sainty. Moving his way through, looking for the kill is going to be Trellock. He has been tagged. The bomb will be crossing to B safely, and that's their first round that BAKS are alive with more than 1. Have shut down Northern Lights to be back on pistols. And so, their performance on Dust 2, widely shown. Definitely showing a lot more promise than their Inferno game did. Which could leave the BAKS side to be in a little bit of a better spot. And even Snow start missing those shots. He tags Fluffy, but it isn't a headshot like he'd found initially. That is a lovely way to open up the round. Greatest is going to watch for this long push. Mines will just run right into him. And so, gets shut down by Greatest. The rest is going to follow. Raid is still thinking of it. It's a right call to start watching his back, because that's where all three of the players from Northern Lights are going to start making their appearance. One player stepped, he hurt the second as well. You'll see them both. As Fluffy is going to be taken from behind, the bomb should be making his way across A fairly easily. Yeah, weapon picked up. It is Excellent, though, who's already tagged down. Dupes won't have the weapon and will also not have a life anymore. His hand gets pulled off, and Excellent will be heard dropping into pit. Which is why Saintie's lurk should be effective enough to take this final player. Will be the AK back in his hands, potentially. And around. That's once more going to be with 3 players surviving on BAKS. They've really gotten some momentum from the few rounds they've taken. With an advantageous spot on the BAKS right now. It does show, and with the tactical timeout it does so too, that Northern Lights are feeling the pressure dearly. Inferno might have gone their way fairly quickly, but does too. It's not looking to be one of those. BAKS still have their best side on paper to go towards, which is their CT side. This is where we'll have to see what Northern Lights can put up against it. Particularly speaking, 6 rounds is more than enough from BAKS, and they're still going to have 3 more. Just to play for the final 12. Aggression. From Snow with the AWP, missed the shot, and that's Saintie collecting the first. Saintie wanting more, not able to take it. Aggressive move from Frank, who tries to use the MP9 to his best of his ability. Raiders was ready for it. Expects this push all day long. Excellent. Throwing the flash as a pop, but still swings right after. Lovely shot from him. He wants to go for more, to no avail. Greatest entries. He rushes in for more. Has seen the player on long now as well. A tap, but not the kill that he wanted. Fluffy has seen him cross back, so with the bomb officially getting planted now. It's going to be a 2 versus 2. That could be game defining. BAKS has been great on those clutches on Dust 2. Few rounds in a row where they only survived with 1 player. This could be one of those once again. As Greatest is watching for short, and Fangor that Mines will not see coming. It's an up duel between Fluffy and Mines, and it is one of those once again. This time it's Fluffy clutching up for BAKS. Will be able to win the half. Russians really good with the X-Factor clutches. Northern Lights will have not the full buy they wanted to have. The control they were looking for. Aggression. Saintie has shut down Mines that went for a lower peak. A good shot from Dupes as he gets taken away. Frank will move into the play where Raiders is watching for it. Saintie aggressing. For this fight, has managed to do so and hurts Snow earlier. But that shouldn't be much of a problem. Nope, he didn't hear him. Now sees him to shut him down. BAKS with a good all-round performance. Ooh, close short. Sainty was in a very good position, just didn't pull out his AK in time. BAKS do try to make matters worse for themselves, as timings were key there. Up short. Some aggressive moves, as Frank will be in front of this Molotov. Dink is taken, but because he got dinked himself, runs right into the flames. Toops is down low. I don't know how he's still alive after that hit of the Molotov. In the heat of the moment, these players are making some small mistakes. And against the best of the best, those would be pivotal. The contender stage, though, we all have those youngster mixers, teams we do see some promising talent from, mostly. And those mistakes can not be punished all too often. We'll say, though, this aggressive move from Snow is looking promising. Although the players from BAKS might have crossed short before he arrives. They may move up too slow. That's where Snow can activate his lurk real nice. The lurk has been checked by Fluffy, though. Was checking his back, not anymore. Running up, one has to check short, and that will be what I was going to say Duelant is doing. Duelant won't be able to do so, and Snow has found a double kill. Wants to now deny this plant, he knows Fluffy has to go for it. So with Snow shutting him down, it's Northern Lights taking their fourth. They pick up the op for good matters, although it doesn't really matter. It's going to be ending of the half either way. Let's going into the second half with an 8-4 again on Inferno. Don't know if we saw the same or not. Can't remember, actually. We have seen an 8-4 that was between Algo and Flame Sharks. The BAKS going to, on paper, their more favorite side in the CT. And so they have a chance to, like I expected a little bit, like I told you in the chat and at home, then this too might be a fairly one-sided game for BAKS again. It's just the way map picks go. Inferno looks much more like a map, I feel like, for the Northern Lights in the way it's been played. And BAKS have been great on Dust 2 all the time. And do show that right here, Mr. Trellock, only good for the one. I felt like he was going to find way more. The impact isn't taken. B2K from Fluffy. It is a weapon that sometimes just clicks. I'm not too sure how, because for me it usually doesn't work, but for these pros, the run and gun just sometimes working so damn greatly. You want extra bullet. The clean tap from the USPs that are, in my opinion, reigning supreme, although Fluffy is the only one to find a multi-kill in this one. BAKS picking up the pistol round, are now just 4 rounds away from being victorious on DE Dust 2. Northern Lights will be playing with Armor Pistol. Mines and Frank will be investing. Up in hand. Ooh, scout in hand as he tags Mr. Trellock on the cross. Greatest. Good shot there. Force buy from Northern Lights that's even being bought right now. I see it now. I've called it out, but it does put a lot of emphasis on this round to go their way, but looks to be a flawless one. Looks to be nothing for the side of Northern Lights, and it is the case. BAKS win it flawlessly up against pistol armor. Now face off against pistols with no armor to put BAKS up to 11-4. To have BAKS be very close to being victorious already. What do we say? Is there anything left? The tank for Northern Lights on this map, or are they already preparing for the map of Ancient? Pushing through. Oh, the MP9. About to say that was already some good work that he did. Fluffy helping out with a nade to not finish Frank off. The nade actually bounced ahead of the pillar. With that, Frank is allowed to plant without taking any damage. We're rough to see that happen. IRL, the nade would have still done a lot of impact, but we're in Counter-Strike right now. It doesn't make much sense. BAKS, though, happy to still take it. But that moment with the nade has probably cost the BAKS some dear players. The plant that did come through afterwards. Which I felt like could have been denied with a nade like that. But hey, it's not going to matter round-wise. It's still one going to BAKS. It might matter for their economy a little bit. At least for the economy of Northern Lights being concerned. Two more for BAKS here. Take matters into their own hands. Being played towards lower. Duelant will be ready for the swing as he finds mines there. Takes the entry. Opening kill going to Northern Lights, who will find themselves some great momentum there. Saints is ready for it. Up in hand, getting smoked off. The nade will open up the smoke with Duelant getting ready. Swing is not all too careful. That is a very good flash, it looks like. Raymond Long was fully flashed as EXORT couldn't help. Now goes aggressive through the smoke, which leads to some disaster for Northern Lights, going for a fifth. They found it. And so they've put more pressure on BAKS than the other way around on their map pick. BAKS only found 4. Northern Lights will at least have 5 added to the tally. And now that I think about it, didn't we see Lindeen last time around for the team of Northern Lights? Let's see, it wasn't this stream, it was this one. Yeah, we saw Lindeen instead of EXORT. So EXORT makes his way back, because that's the official main player on the side of Northern Lights. But the same player with Anchor. EXORT, though, that's been, I feel like, struggling a little bit with form. It's felt a bit inconsistent when it comes to the frags that I've seen from him. All things considered, though, I think he's definitely been great on the util department. Probably on the calling as well. Don't really know who's the IGL on his side, but like I said, with the player that's the highest of age, definitely gotten some promises in what type of role he possesses in the team. Good nade on EXORT, of course, is making this play a whole lot weaker for Northern Lights, looking to aggress. Fluffy is going to watch, and oh my, good shot from Fluffy. Nade's open the smoke, which is going to put information away from Greatest, who is in position, but couldn't collect the kill. Dupes has shut him down, as he's down to 50 health as well. The execute will come from Northern Lights, who found control over A. Bishop short will come, but then Duelant goes alone. In my eyes, a bit of a unfortunate loss there. It really could and probably must have been a kill going away of the BAKS side. At least a trade. No cigar though. Northern Lights take it. Promising position for BAKS. Just Greatest to have butchered his chance to really put some acceleration on that play. Fluffy pulled so much information away from him by getting that kill through the smoke, and then Greatest kind of fumbles. Originally a good setup. Gets stripped apart. And gets Northern Lights in a comfortable spot, economically speaking. Still loads to take care of. 4 from short that are making their appearance, getting ready for an executive play. Dupes Out the corner, getting ready for the swing. Can't seem to find the opening kill. Challenging from long, as Dupes will be ready for it. Wants one more. Can't do it. Northern Lights going up to 7, and I don't know why the sound is this bad. And I can ask my producer why that is. Because it's really irritating me. It's probably irritating you as well. Silky smooth experience. Should be. Isn't the case. 2 rounds away. BAKS still is from victory. And that is a good way to open from Sainty. Aggression rewarded with an entry. The utility being hurt 5 times. That's not the way it's supposed to be. Aggressing through middle. Northern Lights will look to make this play. Good and promising setup from BAKS here, as Mr. Trellock is watching middle. From Carr. Sainty, though, will go for a peek when originally Mr. Trellock was in such a good position. Now still is. But has to step up. He can't. Why do you peek towards middle there? I really don't get that. The setup looks so good. But then Sainty going for a fight on middle puts Mr. Trellock into a 1 versus 3 on B. When it could have been played on the contact for Mr. Trellock, him potentially finding 1 or getting taken. But then Sainty would come as a sort of surprise. Now it felt to be a little bit like an overzealous play that didn't work. As BAKS really don't have that much to tell on this CT side. Pressing through, Mains is getting himself taken away. Dupes, good for 2. Mr. Trellock alone on B. The anchor there many times. So read through by Frank as the final kill will be found, and Northern Lights gets put to 9. Eleven to 9 is on the board. Northern Lights is in a good position now. Financially speaking, but also mentally speaking. And they're running for more. These are the aggressive moves that BAKS had so much trouble with dealing on Inferno. And look at what we have. Acceleration after acceleration. Just no response from BAKS that is brewing. Northern Lights that still have a shot at taking this game in a 2-0 fashion. And so, BAKS that was once in the driving seat of taking map 2 It's now looking like a Northern Lights game again. Not going to be a good buy for BAKS coming forward, so... Oh boy. This can really still be a 2-0. When I never expected it to happen. I don't think anybody in the chat expected it. We were kind of preparing for Ancient mentally already. And look at what we have right now. A game that is still ongoing. That is probably going full distance, because the buy from BAKS is nowhere to be seen, really. Very weak buy on all ends. Making a use. Molly brewed up. No push coming. Frank gets tagged by the scout. Looks like upper will get pushed. Mr. Trellock is in play. Wanted to find that opening kill to no avail. Mains out of mid. Lurking like he always does. Lurking for a multi-kill. Looking for one. And Sainty will have other plans. Wallbang is not enough to get the frag, but the damage has definitely been done. This looks like a really promising round. Aggression is lurking. Great shot as Dupes gets taken down. Short will be pushed as BAKS completely clean house. Take everything away necessary and find round number 12. BAKS Esports. What a performance from the boys in blue. Taking matters into their own hands. And as they are moving closer ever so slightly to this victory. The moment they do it on is just so weird. Exactly when you kind of feel like Northern Lights are going to do everything. There's a weaker buy from BAKS. That's where they strike. This is Counter-Strike at its finest. Well, it's such a special game when you don't feel like you're going to do it. Still, you buy what you desire. You buy what you need. And whatever you buy, you're going to have to deal with it. You got to create a plan around exactly that. And that's what BAKS did. Mains. The lurk from Greatest. Still having a shot at this, but the check from Long came. Which left Greatest on an island. Mr. Trellock will go aggressive and that drops the bomb. Oh boy, he picks up the AWP. Now spots Excelum. This kill would have brought them the round win. Would have brought them the map. And with that kill, potentially it does succeed. Mains under pressure. The Swede has the clutch, a 1 versus 3, but the AWP is holding. The AWP is going to find the necessary piece to end as BAKS, all of a sudden, create chances for themselves to win. With pistol armor and some SMGs as well to work with. That's where they strike round number 12 with, and the 13 gets stringed on top immediately. I don't know what just happened there at the end, right? Northern Lights felt to be in the driving seat, to take the whole game, to be absolutely there to take everything. But of course, history repeats itself with some fake comebacks like we've witnessed in the past. Ancient will have to be called upon. We're going to see a third mapper on the final game of today between BAKS Esports and Northern Lights. 13-4 the first map was. The second is 13-10. So maybe Northern Lights still have something brewing up, considering they picked up a lot of rounds in the end. But I will say, BAKS won yesterday 13-5 in their matchup against the team of the Frenchmen of Amanek and the boys joining him. So 13-5 that was. It looked promising. Let's see if they can finish off in style in this one and join us in the 2-0 part of the bracket. But we got a Northern Lights still banging on the door, hoping to have found some success. Ancient will be tough. Ancient will be fun. Join us on the third map after a short break. maps go in the way I've expected, as both map picks go to the teams picking it. Northern Lights picked up the first map really convincingly, which gave me a chance to really look at a strong Swedish side in that regard afterwards. Of course, we saw BAKS doing the same on Dust 2, but Northern Lights put some more control into that game. They made a slight comeback, which has led me to believe that there's still some more life into the Northern Lights, but we're going to one of the favorite maps from BAKS, and they will get to choose what side they're starting on, I think. I thought they won the knife round, but it doesn't seem to be. Okay, the sides were wrong. BAKS is going to be on the T side. Northern Lights will be on CT. So definitely, I think that puts Northern Lights into a real good position. Them previously doing quite good on Dust 2. Inferno was really convincing. Now Ancient will be played, but it's going to come down to this one map. It's going to come down to what BAKS can put up against, right? They lose the first map real convincingly, but they're back to winning ways after getting a victory on Dust 2. How will Northern Lights respond to this? All questions that are on my mind, or on everybody's mind. As there's an execute towards A. It will provide them with a plant, greatest. Left alone on site. Multiple takes, right? You can bring this game up onto. One thing that's sure, and that's that BAKS is real good on this map. Northern Light played it against Abyss team as well, but different team, different fifth. BAKS up 1-0. With the fast push. Securing Sainty the entry. Trelloc and Greatest to help out wonderfully. Brought BAKS team to a first. Eco is played by Northern Lights. BAKS will have found some good control. Nate. Frank is pulling out a smoke. Great smoke from Sainty to take control over middle. Smoke from Frank as a counter. We'll look to set up this fight. A little bit of tags with round to 4. Mains is ready for it. Fluffy shuts him down. The opening kill goes to BAKS. We'll be trying to find a bit more. The double entry will be taken. Looking to entrance from a main as well. Entering their way through. Fluffy ready with the swing around the corner. Dupes is aware as well. We'll be able to shut him down. Advantageous spot is found for BAKS. They're going to look to find their second round already. There we have it. Second taken in flawless fashion. It was just pistols for Northern Lights. They'll be the ones forcing up now. Hoping to brew up an answer, but early control from BAKS suggests us otherwise. This is a really important round for mostly Northern Lights to win. I think they're going to be under a lot of pressure if this one goes south. Pushing mid, going fast around the corner, still Mines playing. Working his wonders with the SMG. Lot of utility being dumped, and in all the chaos, Northern Lights find most of the frags. Sainty is also down really low. A bloodbath on middle, it was, which Northern Lights comes out on top of. Having found some really good pathing. With this, looking to aggressively make their way across. Molly thrown towards the cave spot. Sainty clearing the corners together with Fluffy as they're making their way across and into cave. Dupes. Giggling back in forward with a swing from Frank, getting ready. MP9. Together with Dupes are clinching quite nicely. Working together to clean up the mess that was still left after the very impressive mid. Looked real tough to say the least. We did see most of the players in BAKS Esports have an ID, but they couldn't really make their way out of the smoke. The SMGs were up close. Looks like now with the M4s, you're not going to be there close and personal again if you're Northern Lights. Feels like they're going to play a lot more passive, with BAKS doing exactly the same. Knowing that not that much utility was dumped, the flash in the nade will set them up for success. A lovely kill to begin from Snow as he's immediately out of there. Well done. Really well played from Snow, who found the opening just like that. He's getting pushed by Frank, although he's on an island. Soon will be getting help by Dupes. Fluffy is looking to swing right on top of them. That Molotov is going to put Frank into some pressure swing. With Fluffy holding on tight. Double kill. The Glock finishing off Frank. This doesn't look like a good round for Northern Lights with the lurk from the greatest as well on A. Won't make matters much better for him. Snow against 4. Should be falling to the floor anytime. Although they're going B by the looks of things. If Snow doesn't make an overzealous rotation, he might actually have the chance to take like one of them with him. Bare minimum. The time starts ticking down lower. Can still find 2 to deny the plant. Will still be checked. There's a 2-piece needed. Snow takes down the bomb planter, but doesn't find Mr. Trellock. It's going to be good for the final piece to provide BAKS with a round. Northern Lights go back to pistols, although we have seen them go for these sort of ballsy forces. And one of those looks to be happening now as well. Thinking they can get away with it. The way we've seen them take mid aggressively prior to this, I feel like that's most certainly possible, but going fast cave will be their answer to the slow methodical round BAKS is putting up. There's been seen some good tapping through the wall. Do some bits and pieces of damage. Originally set your Galil up for success. It softens up some of the players, but most of them have AKs to work with, so that won't be needed. Good double kill from Sainty. With that, he opens up the gate to an probably easy round for BAKS. And the force from Northern Lights, which initially felt like a very interesting move, in a way that felt like it was really dangerous to go for a buy like this. Seems like the risky move hasn't paid off at all. It's made matters much worse for them. Let's say they save these 3 MP9s. I think they're still looking at a decent position with round 6 then being an eco around these 3 SMGs. Maybe they can do some damage. If that one goes south without a singular kill, BAKS are going to have so much cash. And let's say the first full buy round after that one goes the way of BAKS, then you're already looking at a 6 or maybe even 7 for BAKS before Northern Lights can even really respond. Maybe Dust 2 has done more to them mentally than we all expected. They've really not felt like that machine that we saw in Inferno. That is really what sometimes mental can do. Maybe the greatest, the coach from BAKS that has more tools in his arsenal as well to fix the mental issues that might occur after losing a map like that. for Northern Lights, thinking they can finish it off easily. And now still with their backs against the wall, fighting on the third map that is really doing something with your mental, most likely. I know it's all hypothetical speaking. There might also be some other underlying issues, and there's definitely something to say about how promising this BAKS team is on a map like Ancient. There's definitely a little bit of a thing to make about... It's an accusation to make about how one-sided the map of Inferno was. How Dust2's comeback looked possible. That got shut down, and since then it's been a bit still from Northern Lights. Greatest. He's gonna find one. The bomb will go down. There's a rotation bound to happen. It's all gonna be down to mine, so we'll be in position to swing, but it's Sainty to be ready for it. So the round will go to BAKS, and that's the way, like, sort of action and response work, right? I mean, I say it can also be a different problem, but if you're looking at this game and you're seeing, yeah, they've just lost a game that big after winning one, and now all of a sudden things are going bad, it might have to do with that particular game, right? It might have to do with the mental side of it. It's just an assumption you're making, as the action immediately seems to have a response, an answer, which is obviously a negative one for none other than Northern Lights. This doesn't look good, though, as we do see the timeout being called of a technical one. And just when you felt like BAKS was in full control of this game and had the momentum on their side, now they're going to have to wait things out here in the tactical timeout, which must provide with time for Northern Lights to get back into headspace. But again, all quite hypothetical, as still, I think if you're Northern Lights, you kind of want to continue playing this game. Took an hour longer to actually get started because of the other game taking real long due to the overtimes, and yeah, here we are, still playing. It's not fun to have to wait things out like that. It's something they seem to have to deal with it. They seem to have to deal with exactly that. We're not getting going just yet. Mr. Trellock still out of the game. Unsure when he will make his return. Final player made his return, and we're going into round 7 with the advantage still on your screen. BAKS has been controlling the pace of this game, have been keeping up with the Northern Lights playbook. They're Our CT side playbook doesn't look to be all too deep, although they are switching things up nicely here with a double red room setup. No nade to break open that smoke, so they're just waiting for something to arise, to arrange, as there's a good position from Dual Yant. Frank shut down while pushing, and so with aggression held on tight. Trade will come from Mines, who is going to want to go for a bit more. Aggression from BAKS. It felt unstoppable. Luckily with that kill from Mains, he's at least allowed a way back into the game. Excellent will be shut down. Both players are ready on this B push though. From long will be taken, and the final one is on the side itself. Mains has a chance! Oh, Mains! 16 years old. The superstar does it again for Northern Lights. What a play from the multi-frag legend. Keep in Northern Lights in this game, because that could have been a real big blow. Still, gotta keep momentum up. It's not just because Mains finds this round that you're gonna be able to get yourself back into the game. BAKS try moving fast, and definitely helps Frank. It helps him to find that double kill. BAKS make the injury even worse. Put salt in the wound for themselves as they're going to continue going after a round loss like that. Now seem to find themselves getting shut down even further. Trelloc luckily allowed to find at least one, but it's Mains who's shutting them down even further. This man is feeling it real nice. A double kill from him. It keeps BAKS guessing. It keeps BAKS scrambling their toes. So much worse for them. Shut down there from dual end, but it's Mains. Of course it's Mains. Has an answer. I was going to say final buy before BAKS will be back to pistols. Maybe pistol armor will be bought now. Questions for me. What they will go for. Because there's two things to say for it, right? You have a CT economy that's still ready to be taken away. And that's where they're going for, right? Because Northern Lights don't have much money in their reserves. Only going to get 1,400. They will go for a buy. It's risky. But it's effective if they come out victorious. They're already happy about the 5 rounds on the T sides they found. So these are risks you can sometimes take to win more. You see it very often in sports and many things. Like whenever there's a chance to take 2. Even though you're not in the right position yourself. Doesn't mean you shouldn't go for it. If your result can be finding 2 at the cost of losing 1 potentially when you're already in a decent spot, those are risks you can go for. I think BAKS have made the right call with the force in this one. 1 minute left to actually make a play. Trelloc still lurking from middle. He's ready for the smoke. Miss smoke towards A as well. So CT is smoked, but Temple isn't. Snow was in position as Sainty already crossed. Flash will be good enough to get Snow off the angle. The nade is also working wonders with a shot from Snow. We're keep on spectating him because he has been a player that could have been really impactful in the end. He's the only one, together with Dupes, that hasn't found the kill. The rest is history. Northern Lights take round 4 and risk hasn't paid off, but you're still on 5. You're playing for pistols, which puts Northern Lights onto a tight spot. We'll put them onto a tight game most likely. That makes Ancient even more fun to watch here going forward. Really comes down to those small details. Greatest with a lovely shot. Almost lurking B. The bait and switch as the plant is going to happen. This might not provide you with a round win, but as Fluffy has taken an M4 and runs to try and help, this can actually be very successful. It's not A, the side of choice, and Greatest doesn't keep them occupied long enough. Rotations will be called upon. So we do have a kit, or 2 kits actually available for the Northern Lights players. There is loads of time wasted before they're even entering the site. Can be a crazy round. The defuse has happened, is going on. And the stick has been found. Fluffy thought he had the lineup. In fact, he did not. Northern Lights got away with a round of their own. The 5th with a ninja defuse. The game is tied going forward. Bait and switch was the good play for BAKS. Of course, winning the round was another beast. Waiting with the insta-smoke. It will be thrown a bit later. Fluffy looks to be sent in. Sainty will be ready for it as well. Excellent. Going through. Up close. The reload that happened. Frank. The new clip in. He's allowed to find that kill. Excellent. We'll hear the nade, but it's Newland coming out victorious with that fight. Frank. Hard fought from Cave. New clip in with the AK as he swings out for more. It's Mr. Trellick to have taken him. An advantage here for BAKS as they look to have turned this one around. Can't believe it, actually. It looks so promising. Looks so good for Northern Lights, and now it's Snow that could do it. We'll see him. Seen him cross, made his way to A. Snow will try to push him. Fluffy still careful about this. It's up close. Duelin still watches. Just finds a dink. Snow can actually still clutch this for Northern Lights. Up against Op. But Snow that's been dinked. So Fluffy pulls out his speed to 50. Oh my, Snow. The peak from the Op to win it. Northern Lights with another clutch. We've seen this from BAKS time and time again on Dust 2. It's actually Northern Lights too. I've got most of those 1v1s that have won those out in style so many times already. Mains to have clutched one before. Now it's Snow to have done that. Not even having more of the kills, Northern Lights, but they've won more of the rounds, and that matters. You might have the kills. If you don't have the rounds, nothing will come for you. Advantageous spot, running down. It's Sainty. Taking dupes away. The swing will be taken in the end, which causes BAKS to have an advantage here going forward. And we are going to end this on a tie, because Sainty is shutting down all the necessary pieces. Excellent run right into his nade. Now gets taken. Clutch factor. It might be there for Northern Lights, but BAKS has taken 6 on the T side, which I think they're really happy about. We've played 12 rounds. We still don't have a clear favorite. We still don't have a clear winner. BAKS, I personally give the slight edge. But I could be totally wrong about that one as well. What can Northern Lights put up against this squad of BAKS players? Winner that will be going to the 2-0 part of the bracket, of course, like we know. And we've seen before. We've talked about before. Algo, Atrivum, and Quasar are playing there. We'll have either BAKS or Northern Lights still joining them in that part of the bracket. Good shot from Frank, but Mr. Trellock has already taken 2. It was a trade. Was not enough with a kill on middle. Maybe there's a rotation bound to happen. Yo, you still gotta cross Sainty. And Sainty is ready. Don't know how he just found a dink. Might have been through the wall. Snow is down low, and Frank will find another. Great work from Northern Lights, says aggression might be better. Fluffy is left all by himself. A 1 versus 3 from Fluffy. Steps are made, Frank. We let across. Fluffy has found a headshot, but doesn't find more. Northern Lights will go up to 7. They're claiming the first pistol round. Originally, things look promising with Mr. Trellock's double kill. After that, though, Northern Lights slow down, and that's the key piece in that round with the slowing play. BAKS still tries to play on fast. BAKS still tries to peek everything. Make sure they're clearing things. Northern Lights to stay calm and collected and take the pieces necessary up close. Sainty. Only one left on B as the rest is pushing A. Going through middle. Pushing already. Mains will hear this. Good shot ahead of time. The Galil as well trying to. Mains will help them succeed, although he's down low. The rep is also going to come in greatest, but this player should be expected, will be expected by Frank. Double kill with a Mac-10, farming some cash for Northern Lights, as was a full eco that BAKS attempted to play with. Means they're going to have a buy. Northern Lights knows exactly that, and so they'll be the ones playing with the bonus buy now. Actually quite excited to see what this team will put up against it. What will they have thought about? Inferno was a lot about the unpredictable pushes. Now with the Mac-10s, you would say that that is the play they're going to go for once more. Dupes. Can you show us some more fighting spirit on Inferno? He was the man keeping them in it. Now he only has 3 kills so far in the map of Ancient. Already so many rounds of play. Mains will go for a bit of a lurk. Rest is going to come from top of mid. That's smoke towards Donut. Slow fight into window. Another smoke thrown as a response for the CTs, as looks like contacting through Donut might be the play. Flash gets sent in. Dupes will go aggressive. Beautiful flash that sends Duelant back in. Is there a chance for Fluffy to hold on? He needs to find more than the one. The multi was necessary, but the side is taken. What a kill from Dupes to start this round off. It opens up the gate for Northern Lights to win it out. There's still more fights that are needed to be won. The timing from Snow needs to be found. Here towards CT. 2 players lined up and ready. Mac-10 can't do it. Mains will have to clutch it up. Ready. It's the 3 remaining players. Sent to Sky. BAKS is moving up to 7. Winning the first full buy was necessary for the Russians. They've done exactly that. Just 6 away now from being victorious here, BAKS. Though Northern Lights still in the lead, will have a buy of their own. The play that I spoke about, right? It's exactly that. You find an entry. From that point onwards, I think the isolated fights towards the A side give Fluffy so much room to hold on to the A side. At that point, cohesion needs to be the case, and it didn't really happen. Tough ask afterwards. Excellent with a lovely opening kill. Middle will be contested and is going to be won by BAKS. Sainty and Fluffy hold on nicely to that mid campaign. Northern Lights, although finding an entry towards Cave that immediately gets traded. Now still scraping up the pieces. With nowhere to go. BAKS, that is in the driving seat killing-wise. And soon round-wise. To win this map. So really a miracle is going to be needed. They want to win this one out. Sainty is going to peek middle. Doesn't know of their positions, but at least will have the ID. Good shot from Fluffy. Ooh, tagged and taken. Greatest. We'll find the final piece as Sainty was just trying to bait it out. Misbait. For being notified as really is a key piece to that kill. Greatest found in the end. Like I said, killing-wise, BAKS was already greatly in the lead. And now also momentum-wise and probably play-wise as well. Full B-rush though for Northern Lights. Let's see if this is a geeky play. Provides them with a way back in. Fluffy, you're asking a lot from, but also the cave players. Needing to do their work. Needing to do their best. Mr. Trellock holds on to cave. That gets greatest free room to play around this site and hold on tight. Snow. No way to clutch. Greatest. Steps up brilliantly for BAKS. Struggling with form on the first two maps, but he steps up for BAKS on the third. Sure, around against pistol armor, but one with even worse weapons coming up next. Northern Lights have lost their control, have lost their lead. And still the game is to be decided, but if BAKS play their cards right, they should have not much trouble ending this game on a win. It's looking dire for Northern Lights. BAKS might have just been able to squeeze their way through. Don't know if we saw them actually in EXORT Series 12. Snow unable to make that happen. Sainty will. Double kill from him. Greatest watches B, but final player around is going to be Snow. Ready for it with a swing from Greatest. Down the ramp, spots the head and gets the frag. Pistols getting shut down, obviously. Not much that Northern Lights could do in the round. This one is where they expected to do most on. Wanting to keep the economy as low as possible for BAKS. That has not succeeded at all. They've had troubles all over the board to hold on. To keep the form up. To keep the form going. So we'll have to see if there's any change coming in the near future. Mains. Double kill out of nowhere. What a show up from Mains here in this round. It's a Mech 10. Just run them down. Frank. Speak about important kills. Look at his double. And Northern Lights on the cusp of losing everything. It's Frank to find a multi. Greatest though. Up against two. Two of the remaining players here. That's a headshot that he needed. Greatest. Be pushed by dupes. His 6th kill of the game is a very important one. Could have been life or death for Northern Lights if would have lost this round. BAKS goes to 11. Northern Lights back to armor pistol. Fighting spirit back to their side as they're on 9. Now also in very close distance of eventually winning things out for their team. This game is getting much more exciting by the second, as BAKS is still very close to winning, but Northern Lights always keeping the pressure up, keeping them at bay. Sometimes just have those really weird moments where you feel like it can never happen, and it still does. Molly, good timing to get Sainty off guard. He's not going to be shut down. Control still is from Duoyan to with a double kill. Could have found success. Could have won the round there single-handedly. The greatest will, though, as Frank was still the player alive and kicking for the time being. In a promising position, but was read through quite nicely. Steps are heard from Fluffy. He wants to deny this plant. Nate should be good enough. Ooh, he misses it. Dupes can actually cross to the side and will go for the plant. That could have been finishing blow already. Molly and the Nate could do so. Just a slither of health was still left for Dupes. Just wanted enough, as he literally just had 1 HP remaining. With a plant, I think Northern Lights can still be quite happy. Dupes should have never been allowed to get that done, as he does succeed in punching in the digits. Northern Lights will have a little bit more cash to go for. Will still be provided with some resources to go for investment. Sits backs against the wall, ready to fight. You want to take things right here, right now, and yeah, the buy you're seeing on your screen. It was 3 mech-10s, now it's only 2. As Mines will go for a Tech 9. Dupes and Snow have barely anything left. So yeah, this is by no means a good position. Fluffy goes aggressive and finds the frag on the first. Great nade from Greatest. Together with Fluffy, they open up the gate. They open up the chance. Here comes the B-push. Here comes the chance to hold on. Mr. Trellock swinging right into the hands. This is Fluffy getting ready with the AWP, holding tight, gets shut down. Greatest still holding on for dear life from Cave. It will be Sandy getting ready. 2 players moving through CT. They line up for him. Sainty. Pulls BAKS even closer to a victory. If you didn't think it could get worse, look at the buy from Northern Lights. Look at the rounds on the top. You can make assumptions all you want. This is looking like a BAKS game. Inferno won so easily by Northern Lights. The rest, we expected to be good for BAKS. I don't think many expected them to still come out victorious after the strong performance on map number 1. Inferno might need some help. Ancient and Dust2 definitely don't. A performance worth noting, but will they push their ticket to round 3 of Swiss with a 2-0? Or will we have a Northern Lights comeback? Good trade from Sainty. Mr. Trellock still playing from Cave. He's not been shut down yet, so without a position change, without a position hold, it's still going to be around for BAKS Esports. Dupes is down low. Still, provided with a way. 11 HP is all that's left, as he will find himself falling short to clutch. No clutch factor from Northern Lights in the final round of play, as it's BAKS to win it out. A reverse sweep to end our day of Counter-Strike. 13-4, map 1 was in the favor from